Hello, 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 everybody. Hello, and welcome back to my channel. This is Safe Sakalala, Dr. Safe Sakalala. For those of us in the United States and all just Americans around the world, happy 4th of July. Today is, 4th of July, 2023. And so, all right, I'm back with the first of, this video is going to be the first of a series. The title of the series is Grit, Creativity, and Learning. And again, this is the first episode. And the topic today that we're going to be looking at is, I'm just going to go ahead and highlight it in, let's say, blue here, just to make it stand out. Learning or improving our learning of languages using Google Translate. Okay, that's our topic today. So let's just jump right into it. Okay, so first of all, just we're going to be getting into the tool that we're going to be using to learn is Google Translate, okay? But for folks that might not know it, when we talk about AI, so nowadays some of the buzzwords du jour, so to speak, are AI and ML, machine learning, ChatGPT. Many of us have heard of that, surely, for sure. And have used it. I know I have in my writing already, okay? So, but what you might not realize is the fact that Google Translate is an example of AI. But what I wanted to do is, first of all, I just want to very quickly ask, ask ourselves, what exactly is AI? So let's just get some other examples of AI. And I'm going to drag my other window to the screen. First, take a look at that real quick. All right. Just fitting it to the window. And so let's see here. There you go. And so ChatGPT, this is what I typed into ChatGPT earlier, common examples of AI. And ChatGPT gives us a total of 10 examples. All right. I'm just going to read through them very quickly. Virtual person assistants, and so that's like Siri, Alexa, recommendation systems. So it's like if you watch videos on YouTube, YouTube can help you, just discover videos that are like the ones that you like. All right, self-driving vehicles. That's another one. You might be surprised by that. Natural language processing, and so it says translation, which is what we're using today with the Translate, etc., etc. So there's a grand total of 10 items here. I'm just not gonna dwell too long on them. And today, again, what we're going to be using today, our focus today is Google Translate, and we're using it to again, just going back to the topic of the day, is to we're using it in like how to learn languages, right? Like how to either just learn or just improve. It might not completely be the only tool that you use. However, it can really be very beneficial to you, and that's what we're using today. Okay, so again, Google Translate, as it so happens, is an AI, an example of AI. Okay, all right. So, and then what about language learning? So we're talking about learning languages, and what's the best way to learn languages? Those of us that, if you love languages, you are an aspiring polyglot, like myself. Well, so how do you make that happen? To be a polyglot, to be a multilingual person, and so some of us are lucky, born into born into a culture somehow where you're exposed to more than one language. I myself, where I was born in Uganda, East Africa, and the part of the country where I was born is predominantly, and then just throughout the country, Luganda is spoken as like a predominant language, or the predominant language, at least in the central region. So that's where I was born. But English is the national language. So really, Ugandans, as long as many Ugandans that are born into the middle class, really, that they are native speakers more or less of English. All right, and so that's me right there. And I guess that right there just is the middle method, which is what I point out here, is like immersion. Okay, and so you're either born into it, or let's say you live for a long time in a country. You go to France, you go to let's say China, you go to Spain, and you spend a long time there. Well, you're immersed in the language, and so that's how you just inevitably you're forced to learn because you have to survive. You have to like learn to how to ask for food, how to ask for directions, etc., etc. Classroom learning is another way to do it, and so obviously we learn like just like English. Even though we're native speakers of English, but we do learn English from primary school through secondary, and then you go to university. A lot of us major in it. I myself, I'm a proud undergrad, my BA. My bachelor's is in English writing, and so all you English majors out there, props to you, kiddos. We English majors are awesome. All right, and enough of that. Anyway, but so yeah, so that's classroom. So that's another way you can learn languages. And then finally, creativity. And by creativity, this is what I mean is, for instance, through music, and that's what we're going to be doing today. Okay, so you can learn it in the classroom, or as you can also practice it and learn it using immersion methods. What about through a creative method such as music? And that's what we're going to be using today. Is like to use music to teach ourselves to just learn language, to learn a language or a set of languages. So let's just dive right in. So here we go. So the examples that songs that I chose for today's session, I have 3 songs here. 2 of them by American artists, and the third one by a Rwandan artist, Cecile Kayirebwa. And so the first 2, Michael Jackson's "Who Is It?" Second song is Katy Perry's "Roar," and the third song is Cecile Kayirebwa's "Tarihinda." Now, what I'm going to do is, what I encourage you to do, I'm going to get links to all the songs and I'm going to put them in the description of this video. So what you can do right now is, I encourage you to go ahead and pause at this juncture in the video, because all of these 3 songs, depending on like your tastes in music, and really all 3 of them have what you can think of as crossover appeal. Michael Jackson, it's a pop song, but it just, when you listen to it, it actually, anybody who, let's say you have an older relative or something, or someone who enjoys classical music and they're not that into pop, the beginning of the song will probably pull them in. Okay, so when you play the beginning, like just part of the song before the beat starts, and then you have somebody that loves hip hop and R&B. Oh my God, that beat is just like, so. I'm not gonna like beatbox and like do a cappella to it. But the point is, all those 3 songs, and then "Roar" is a pop song. Very, very like the lyrics are very self-empowering. It's just like, it's all about self-empowerment, basically. You held me down, but I rose up. You're gonna hear me roar. And then Cecile Kayirebwa's Tarihinda. This one is, it's more like, I think it's, the context is, by the way, I'm half Rwandan. My mom is ethnic Rwandan, my father is a Muganda. And so I love Kinyarwanda, I'm learning it, but I didn't, grow up speaking it. But the context of Tarihinda is more like they were singing, it's like about, in fact, I'm going to go ahead and like just put it into Google Translate right now before we get started, so that way we just know, because I don't want to be like pontificating about something that I don't know. But it's the context is like more like a happy occasion and people getting together and they're singing Tarihinda. They sang. So in fact, let's just go ahead and I'm going to minimize this PowerPoint slide. I'm going to, let's see here. I bring up the window here, and so I already have Tarihinda, the lyrics right here, and I'm just gonna go ahead and highlight all of them. I'm gonna put them into Google Translate for us to kind of pull up the translation. Now, this particular version is giving me some trouble, so I'm just go ahead and type it into Google to pull up Tarihinda Kayirebwa lyrics. So first, you're just gonna get the clear context of it, and then that way we dive right in. Okay. All right. So here we go. Tarihinda mama, Tarihinda mama. And so this is the refrain, the beginning, the intro, and then you get into the first verse, etc. So let's just go ahead and put it in here. Now Google Translate can actually sense a language. So for instance, if I do this, Like I know on my phone it does for sure. Here it might not. Like on the app, Kinyarwanda. I'm just gonna Kinyarwanda. There you go, and into English, and voila. Well, and now this is one other thing we're gonna get to later. The limitations of Google Translate, because yes, this is part of what I wanted to point out. They're talking about like singing, but here it comes out as shivering, shiver. Tarihinda. I mean, like this translation is completely all wrong, and so in fact, this is a good thing that we just started off with this one. So I'm not gonna focus on it. However, the way you can use these lyrics, Cecile Kayirebwa's lyrics, as somebody that's learning Kinyarwanda, Kinyarwanda is one of those languages that's it's both syllabic and tonal. And so, for instance, a lot of the time, like, there's words, like the word for chief, right? When you read it, it just reads like umutware, umutware. But then, like, apparently there's like a silent K type of like silent K sound between somewhere in the beginning, like between like so something. Like, when you're speaking it, it's more like umutware, or like versus umutware. Like, you know, when you're reading it, it's just what you see, but there's a silent K in there. Or umuntu, like umuntu, like so a person umuntu. By the way, and Kinyarwanda is a Bantu language. Luganda is a Bantu language as well. Kiswahili is a mixture of Bantu and Arabic and other influences. But you know, Omuntu in Luganda that's it. They go Omuntu. That's in the English alphabet, right? In the Roman, I don't know, I guess in the English alphabet. Now, Kinyarwanda, instead of the O, you have U, and so you have Umuntu, but it's not Umuntu, because like in Luganda it's Omuntu, but in Kinyarwanda it's like Umuntu, right? Like there's that like thing of there's that kind of feature of speaking through your nose that they have, you know, right? Like so they have that kind of and so you know these lyrics right here, these and others, right? When you go to YouTube and you look up a bunch of songs and you know like Rwandan music, it can help you kind of learn to pronunciate how to pronounce the words. Tarihinda mama, Tarihinda mama way. Tarihinda mama. So like right here, this like the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5th line. You know, this is twice. Tarihinda mama and Tarihinda shenge. You know, and then so just you will learn to pronounce it because again, it's really hard just trying to learn it from a book. If you have a tutor, easier, but still for practice, it's much easier for you. So I'm just gonna get rid of these two windows for us then. All right, so and let me just go back to the slide very quickly. Here we are. So yes, just to go back a little bit. Remember what I was saying. Google Translate is what we're using today, and it's an example of an AI system. Here I just have ChatGPT. Well, I'm comparing the two of them, like Google versus ChatGPT, and so I just. You know, those of us that are raving about ChatGPT and how awesome it is, this is what we mean. If you type in this query into Google, this is what you get. You get a bunch of results. When you type it into ChatGPT, here's what ChatGPT tells you. Yes, Google Translate is an AI system. Uses machine learning and artificial intelligence techniques to provide automated translation services. The thing about Google Translate that's very important to understand is the fact that Google Translate over time, machine learning techniques, when they talk about machine learning techniques, right? It's so impressive how ML algorithms, right? AI and ML, like so ML are the building blocks of AI. Machine learning are the algorithms, are the kind of techniques that are, you know, for the most part, and there's other concepts as well, but for the most part, ML, machine learning, is what gives us artificial intelligence. And it's very impressive how over time Google Translate has gotten better and better in terms of you know the meanings. Because you see how I just in the previous screen I was trying to translate Tarihinda and it just came up all wrong. I for one have noticed over time that like it has gotten so much better, and I'm trying to just pull up a new window here so as to kind of demonstrate. So Google Translate has gotten so much better over time when it comes to um, giving us precise, like good translations of words. And a lot of the time, for instance, like with English or French or whatever, you have, let's say, idiomatic expressions, right? So let me just go to Google Translate here. You have idiomatic expressions that where if you translate it directly, doesn't make sense. But Google Translate has gotten so much better, in part because the algorithms that Google use, like kind of designs it with, are meant to teach themselves over time. And so once people, and then there's also like elements of crowdsourcing. So those of us, all of us, like Google Maps, those of us who use Google Maps, Google Translate, we give feedback to Google in terms of, what, this is wrong, and then and then Google obviously has language experts and whatnot that over time make it better. And I'll just demonstrate the fact that, like in Luganda, just Google does very well for Luganda translation, but it wasn't always it wasn't always like that. It's very, very impressive. All right, so I'm just gonna move this PowerPoint to over this slide, and we're gonna get right into it. We're gonna continue. Seeing examples of kind of like how to learn. So the two that we're going to use are, so the third one, Cecil Katy, was Tarihinda. We just looked at that. And I'm just, like for the purposes of this session, I'm going to, think what we just, the main point to note with it is the fact that it can help us, it can really help you learn the pronunciation of words because Kinyarwanda is very challenging that way. All right, so for the rest of the session, we're going to look at those two: Michael Jackson's "Who Is It" and Katy Perry's "Roar." And I'm not going to spend too long on both of them. First, let me just start with Katy Perry's "Roar." I happen to have a neat, because I had done this before. And so I happen to have like I drew a table, and I emailed this to myself. So let me go ahead and expand it to the. So here you are. So for Katy Perry's "Roar," I am a French speaker. My French fluency is of an intermediate level. Okay, functional fluency. I can survive in Paris for sure. I can. Je parle français, je l'aime, le parle, je l'aime, I love it, je veux le pratiquer tout le temps. Chaque fois quand je suis dans un Uber, when I'm in an Uber, every time if the driver happens to be quelqu'un, a person, someone qui parle français, I really take that chance to kind of just practice with them. All right, so here we go. Roar, in my opinion, comes out well when you put it into Google Translate. This came out of Google Translate, and I just have it neatly organized here. So I'm gonna go through the whole thing. Let's just look at like this the first verse as well as the chorus, and then we just look at what kind of how it translates, and it just really, in my opinion, it really does a good job. Google Translate does. All right, so I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath, and then in French, so lyrics in French is parole. Okay, so I used to bite my tongue and hold my breath. J'avais l'habitude de me mordre la langue et de retenir mon souffle. I'm not sure that la langue. Well, actually, I think it is correct if I'm not mistaken. La langue, tongue. All right, and then second line is scared to rock the boat and make a mess. Peu de secouer le bateau, de faire un gâchis. And then so I get and all right, and I feel like there's an and missing from here for some reason. But just all right, let's just go on. Just read it as it says. I guess I forgot I had a choice. Alors je me suis assis sans. Alors je me suis assis sans aucun mot except. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I'm reading the wrong line there. So I guess I forgot. I had a choice. There you go. There we are. Sorry. Because I'm sorry. The line that I'm looking for here. Je suppose que j'oublie que j'avais le choix. I stood for nothing, so I fell for everything. J'étais là, all right, and there's a mistake I made here where I see these lines right here. I included them here, so unfortunately that was a mistake on my part. Okay, anyway, so let's see. That verse is not quite as well written. Going through the bridge. This is like maybe a bridge or a second verse. You held me down, but I got up. This is a good one. Okay, so you held me down, but I got up. Hey, tu m'as retenu, mais je me suis levé. Okay, already brushing off the dust. Déjà blanc la poussière. You hear my voice. You hear that sound. Tu entends ma voix. Tu entends ce son. Like thunder, gonna shake the ground. Comme la tonnerre va secouer le sol, and then there goes, you held me down, but I got up. Hey, all right. So tu m'as retenu, mais je me suis levé. I got ready because I had enough. Sois prêt car j'ai eu assez. I see it all. I see it now. Je vois tout. Je le vois maintenant. And then the chorus is beautiful. I got the eye of it. I got the eye of the tiger. I got the eye of the tiger. Fighter. Je l'ai l'œil du tigre. Je l'ai l'œil du tigre. The tigre. So there goes. The French pronunciation is kind of hard. Je l'ai du tigre en combat. Dancing through the fire. Danser à travers le feu. Because I'm a champion. And you're gonna hear me roar. Parce que je suis un champion. Et tu vas m'entendre rugir louder than lion, plus fort qu'un lion. Because I'm a champion, you're gonna hear me roar. Parce que je suis un champion, et tu vas m'entendre rugir. Now, disclaimer. Again, I'm a functional speaker or intermediate. So, but if any native French speakers are hearing me and they're like, "Oh my God, you're butchering the language," my apologies there. And so again, just one last time, and then we'll finish up with Katy Perry's song. You're gonna hear me roar. Tu vas m'entendre rugir. Now I'm floating like a butterfly. I think now this is different, like a new verse. Maintenant je flotte comme un papillon, stinging like a bee. I earned my stripes. Pique comme un bee, j'ai gagné mes galons. I went from zero to my own hero. Je suis passé de zéro à mon propre héros. All right, so there you go. That is Katy Perry's Roar, okay? And what I wanted to do, the plan had been for me to kind of use it not just for French, which I already have. And so I'm just gonna, because I don't like making these videos way too long. I try to keep these videos short. So I'm gonna skip over. What you can do is, on your own time, if you're enjoying this exercise, this method, you can go ahead and use either Roar or any other song you want, or Who Is It. You can go ahead and put them into Google Translate like I do here, and then just kind of see how well it does in terms of. And let me just decrease the size of the text. And so just see how well it does. All right, but I already have it in French, which is what we did. For now, I'm just gonna go to the last one, which is the last song lined up here, which is Michael Jackson's "Who Is It." All right, just darken this out for us. Okay, so Michael Jackson, "Who Is It?" And what I did is for Michael Jackson, there are two. I had already done the French and Swahili translations. Luganda, I did, and what I found is going to prove my point, what I said earlier in terms of the fact that, just the meanings don't make sense sometimes, right? So, French, Who Is It? Let me pull up the window for, the relevant window for the Michael Jackson song right here. Bear with me one moment. Here it is on my screen. I'm going to drag it over here. So, for Michael Jackson's Who Is It? We look at. I'm just gonna be very. The beauty of this particular song is the fact that, or really all songs, the reason as to why it's a good method for you to use, the chorus, repeats. The bridges and choruses repeat themselves. Like the singers, the chorus is sang throughout the song. 1, 2, 3 times, and at the end, repeatedly until the song fades out. Okay, so. Let's start with the first one here, block 1. I just love this song, really. I really love this song. So I gave her money. Let's use this real. Let's use this one. I guess verse here. I gave her money. I gave her time. I gave her everything inside one heart could find. I gave her passion, my very soul. I gave her promises and secrets so untold. Let's just use that. And so we go down to the French section here, which I have down here. Je lui ai donné de l'argent. Je lui ai donné de l'argent. Je lui ai donné du temps. Je lui ai, je lui, je lui ai tout donné. Je lui ai tout donné à l'intérieur d'un couple pour être ouvert. Je lui ai donné la passion, mon âme même. Je lui ai fait des promesses de ce que c'est inconnu. Again, just a lot of those last lines there. Give her promises and secrets so untold, right? For the most part, I think it's okay. Native French speakers, go ahead and judge whether or not, don't just tell me what you think. And then here we go. Continuing here, this is better as well in French. Elle m'a promis, okay, first of all, let's read it in English. And she promised me forever and a day would live as one. We made our vows would live in life anew. And she promised me in secret that she'd love me for all time. It's a promise so untrue. Tell me what will I do? I just love that his tone there. Tell me what will I do? And so in French, again, it does well. Google Translate does well. Elle m'a promis pour toujours, et un jour nous vivrions comment? Nous avons fait nos vœux, nous vivrions une nouvelle vie. Elle m'a promis un secret qu'elle m'aimerait pour toujours. C'est une promesse si fausse. Dis-moi que je veux faire. Dis-moi que je vais faire. All right, and then we'll get into the chorus. And it doesn't seem to matter, and it doesn't seem right, because the will has converted no fortune, so like cried on the night. And she judged of my composure, because I'm lying to myself. And the reason why she left me, did she find someone else? Who is it? This is what I was saying here. The refrains here, like the chorus. Who is it? Is it a friend of mine? Who is it? Is it my brother? So let's just go all the way down here and look at, what that looks like. Kiss. So like, who is it? Is it should be up here. Kiss. C'est un ami à moi. Well, I feel like with my own my knowledge of French, I feel like est-ce qu'il est un ami de moi, un ami à moi, a friend to me, I guess is also correct. I would go with est-ce qu'il est un ami, est-ce qu'il est mon ami? Est-ce qu'il est mon ami or ma ami? If it's a woman, mon ami or ma ami. But I guess you can use this. That's all right. Est-ce que mon frère, is it my brother? And again, I have a bit of it. Like I'm gonna just accept, like more or less it's correct, but not really. I mean, est-ce qu'il est mon frère is the way I'd say. Est-ce qu'il est mon frère? Quelqu'un a blessé mon âme maintenant. Somebody hurt my soul. Qu'est-ce qu'il est? And again, see, this is qu'est-ce qu'il est. The way they're writing it here, I would write it differently. Who is it? Qu'est-ce qu'il est is what I'd say instead of qu'est-ce que. Okay. All right. I'm just gonna go ahead now. And then in Kiswahili, when I tried it, it did good in my opinion. So I'm just gonna do like the first, first verse there. I think it's technically this is like one verse. I give her money. The line that starts, I give her money, and she promised me forever. Technically, this is, you can say this is like two parts of one verse. I think I'm not a music expert and stuff, so folks that are watching this, please don't yell at, please don't be mad at me. But just reading through the first block, and that's all we're gonna do, and then we're gonna move to Luganda. So I gave her money, I gave her time, I gave her everything inside one heart could find. I gave her passion, my very soul. I gave her secrets, I gave her promises and secrets so untold. And in Kiswahili, I believe it does okay. In my humble opinion, it does well. Nilimpa pesa, nilimpa wakati, nilimpa kila kitu. I'm not sure about the wakati, but nilimpa kila kitu ndani ya moyo moja unaweza kupata. Nilimpa shauku, nafsi yangu sana, nilimpa ahadi. Nasiri hazijasemwa. Nasiri hazijasemwa. Let's just do one a little more, just one more to kind of make sure that it's this second, what I'm calling a sub-verse, and then the chorus. And it doesn't seem to matter, and it doesn't seem right, because the will has burned a fortune still a crown on a night. Don't you judge of my composure because I'm lying to myself? And there's the reason why she left me. Did she find someone else? Who is it? Is it a friend of mine? Is it my brother? Somebody hurt my soul now. I can take the stuff no more. And then in Kiswahili, we see nalia nia hidi milele na siku tungeishi kama kitu kimoja, tuliweka nadhiri zetu, tungeishi maisha upya, nalia nia hidi kwa siri kamba atinapenda siku zote, na ahadi sio ya kweli, niambie nifanya nini, nitafanya nini. Again, this overall, it's okay. All right, like it's not. It could be a lot better, but it more than serves. If your grading method is a pass-fail, is a pass-fail kind of grading style, it's a pass. Now, where it gets really interesting is Luganda, and so because I'm a native speaker of Luganda, and honestly, it was just really, it's really interesting how it gets some things right and some things wrong. Google Translate does. All right, so let's just go ahead and look at it. You can do away with this. Well, I'm just gonna minimize the slide real quick, and so I'm gonna pull up a window for us. Google Translate. All right, and actually, where do I get the Michael Jackson? Who is it? Bahol. So let's just take let's take the entire kind of, maybe not all of it, but let's just take maybe like from this, what I'm calling sub, like kind of sub verses 1 and 2 here, and then the chorus, and then who is it? So I'm just gonna take those three. You have one total of 1, 2, 3, 4 paragraphs. Take them. Might as well just go ahead and close this up right now since we're done with it. And we're going to put it in for English. Going to Uganda. And then it's really interesting what I found before when I looked at it. Okay, so. Alright, why is this not? No, wait, so we'll do. English to Uganda. Of course, technology being what it is, wouldn't be English. It's being temperamental right now. Let's see if it Uganda Arabic. What in the world? So yeah, no, I want English. And then that takes, finally, great. Wait, why is it? So clearly, you gotta love this, right? Like, just when I'm like trying to demonstrate something, you know what? And I'm gonna go ahead and I'll just post this video regardless, because this just shows us, this shows us like the limitations of technology a lot of the time, right? So let's see here. Well, guess what? Looks like it's just refusing to cooperate. Doesn't quite, it's not working with us. Let's see, English. Uganda, let's scroll all the way down. Just gonna take it easy. Lingala. They usually have it, and I know that on the app it would be easier to find it. In fact, let me just go ahead and use my, even though I'd love for it to be on the screen for you all to see it, I'm just going to use my phone app to kind of serve the purpose, because it looks like online, the online version is it's just not cooperating. Try one last time. English to Uganda. Let's see if that works. English to Uganda translation. This is not, see, Google Translate is what I'm trying to use. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to use my app, because on the app I know that it works well. Definitely. Ganda. Oh, there it is, Ganda. I was using the wrong one. Sorry. And so, English to Ganda. So Luganda, you can say Luganda for those of us that speak it, native speakers, Oluganda, right? Luganda or Oluganda. And then Ganda is like, one way to write it in English. All right, so let's see here. Let me just make sure there's a big enough space, and that way we can make sense of it later. Who is it? Et cetera, et cetera. All right, so here we go. Now, I just came out, and Luganda speakers that are watching this can agree with me. I gave her money, namwa sente, that's correct. I gave her time, I gave her everything so one heart could find. Namwa would day, namwa yonana bimuwa munda mumutima This is more or less correct, right? Like, just more or less correct. But this is, again, I'd go with BLE, what she could have found, is what I'd say. I give a passion, my very soul. Now, passion, let's see how they have it. It's interesting how they have passion. Now, wagazi is how they, okay, I guess that could work. Wagazi, yeah, that could work. Passion, there's not really, as a native Luganda speaker, I can't think of, like, passion is like maybe, you know, the way we use it in English. I can't really think of, in this context, I think Google nails it. Really, they do a good job, in my humble opinion. All right, my very soul, Omoye Gwange, that's correct. My very soul, Omoye Gwange Gwenini, that's very good. I give her promises and secrets so untold. Namoa Bisubizo, Nebi Amavia, Webitio, Ibiteo Girwa. I love it. All right. And then she promised me in secret, and she promised me forever in a day we'd live as one, with made our vows, live and life anew. And this is good. This is all, for the most part, again, this is good. And finally, let's just go to the bridge here. The bridge, just delete this first part. In the bridge, we have, and it doesn't seem to matter. And I'm gonna, like, after each line, I'm just gonna, like, make it, and it doesn't seem to matter. And it doesn't seem to matter. It actually, all right, see, this is where it fails it, all right? So this is a good example right here. And it doesn't seem to matter. I wouldn't say it that way. So, like, it doesn't seem to matter. The way I'd say it is like it does, and it doesn't seem to matter. At it, you know, naye. You know, I'd say like and it naye. I would instead of so like and directly translated is era, but you know the way they have it here, era. But I'd say just for these purposes, like it's better to say naye, but right. And it doesn't seem to matter. Naye techite is simple way I'd put it is it doesn't seem to matter. Or I mean like techina. I mean like techina makulu is okay, but I'd say and it doesn't seem to matter. Sin songa, you know, like you say it a number of ways. If you're a native speaker, it doesn't seem to matter. Like to gisa, you know, like so. I guess because Michael Jackson is saying, and it doesn't seem to matter. Like it doesn't matter because like she hurt me, and like it all doesn't make sense. And so that's why I'm saying techita gerekeka, right? Like it doesn't, it's not understandable. Is like the direct translation back to English of what I'm saying. And it doesn't seem right. It actually like a switch to this is good because the will has brought no fortune. Now this is a tough one. Has brought no fortune. So the will. This is a really this is what I was saying before with idiomatic expressions. And because the will has brought no fortune. Will in this case, a will in Luganda is yes, echiramo, a will, echiramo, right? But in this case, Michael Jackson is not talking about a will, like you know, like a last will and testament. He's talking about, I guess, kind of the will has burden of fortune. Like I guess, kind of like the way you say goodwill. And so he's saying, you know, I guess, I can just, you know, I'm just freestyling here, so to speak. The will, the way you say goodwill. So like I'm not making my peace with it. Like the way, the larger meaning here for me, the way I say it is, I refuse to make my peace with it because the will has burden of fortune. Is the way I'd see it. And kubanga chiramo kubanga Luganda they say here kubanga chiramo chire se tewali mukisa. Nah, I mean like you know what I mean. Like again, I'd go with something along the lines of this is one of those things where crowdsourcing among Luganda native Luganda speakers would be good, but I would personally go with something along the lines of because the will. Like kubanganyo chikiriza is what the way I'd say it. Because again, like for me, the real meaning, you know, like when you the main point that he's making, when you take away the literal, just the word for word, the will has burden of fortune, still like cry alone at night. Kubanganyo chitegera erancha. Look, and then they really butcher it where it's still like cry. Right, you know, like you know, no. This is a horrible. Okay, still like Carolyn at night. So, and again, I'm just gonna like end kind of the video soon here. But you see, this is like a classic. So some of them they get right, some of like the translations they get right, because the will has brought no fortune. Like I said, one more time, my claim here as a speaker, as a native speaker is this doesn't work, right? Like I would say, wanganyu chikiriza, still like cry alone at night. Iran chakabanze keichiro is the way I'd say it. All they get right here is eichiro at night, right? But everything else they fail. Still like cry. Actually, just stick it the way it is, right? Iran chakabanze ka eichiro is the way I'd say it. All right, so that just goes to show you, like the whole point here is, I mean, my encouragement to everybody is that, like, if you're trying to learn, languages, yes, I still, you know, the claim I'm making in this video, the assertion I'm making in this video is the fact that, yes, you know, Google Translate can be very helpful, but just be careful while using it. Number one. It's gotten so much better over the years in terms of like what it gets right, and you know, like the way it translates the you know, the languages, because machine learning algorithms kind of learn from what more and more what people put in, and you know, crowdsource kind of feedback and all that. But it's still, if nothing else, it really is. It's just helpful. It kind of just and we're not. More than anything, more than like Google Translate itself, my point in this video is to point out the use of music. All right, music, just basically as a creative way of learning language is my larger point in this video. All right, so I hope you've liked it. I just here you go. This last slide. See for yourself what I'm saying on there. I just always I never thought I'd be in a position to you know, to say this, but if you know, in all seriousness, if you like the video, I'm very glad, and yes, please, by all means, just take that off. Please, by all means, do like it and subscribe, and just share with your friends. I'll be doing a lot more videos like this throughout, and again, this was the first episode of my series, the Great Creativity and Learning series. Episode 1 was today. Okay, so thank you so much for watching, everybody, and I'm going to end the video right here.